Hi, my name is Karen Schaps, and I'm your child's math and science teacher. I just wanted to introduce myself and say that I grew up on Mercer Island. I started teaching at Pine Lake Middle School. Never in my wildest dreams thought I would be back on the island teaching, but here I am. I've been here for quite a few years now, and I teach science, math, and health for sixth graders. My daughter, who is a freshman at Gonzaga, also went through the school system, and she is taking her classes remotely as well. So many of us are all in the same boat. I do want to say you've done a fantastic job to start this school year. It has been a hard start with sixth graders because everything is so new, and then the technology piece on top of that has been challenging for many people. So it's very nice that this last week was a little bit smoother. I'm hoping that starting this coming week that the links and finding documents and knowing how to submit and being comfortable in class all just continue to improve. So nice job. What I wanted to do tonight was go over what a typical day would be like for your student, your child, and I will show you our think questions, how we take notes, the assignment, and then I would like to show each of you how to access Schoology and encourage you not to be afraid to click around and experiment with it so that you can help your child find their assignments, find late work, that kind of thing. That is separate from Skyward, and Skyward is where the grades are posted. So Schoology is every single day, maybe a couple times a day, especially in the afternoon and evening. And then Skyward is once or twice a week to check grades and make sure that nothing is missing. All right, so let me share my screen and I will show you how the kids typically start. So they come into Zoom class, we take attendance. I really appreciate everybody joining on time. It's super important to me that the kids show themselves on the screen. I really read a lot by people's body language. We communicate, we talk a lot in class. There's a lot of discussion, and it helps me so much to get to know your child by seeing them. So thank you for encouraging that. I really want them to stay on Zoom and show me their video the whole time, right? So when they come in and they do a think question, sometimes it's something like this minute question where they have 10 quick questions that are a smattering of review, and they're supposed to try to do it in a minute to build fluency. It's often several minutes, but it's not graded. It's just a variety of questions to bring the rustiness out of their brain and bring the math back to the forefront. They might have a different kind of think question. Like this one, I wrote up 5 questions this week because I didn't feel like I didn't feel super comfortable that they were all getting how to write the ratios and how to use ratios. So our think questions to start off the class revolved around ratios. Another example might be a visual. So this is a little bit more fun and a little bit different. They just get a few minutes to try to figure out how many of the different shapes they can find in the visual. Then we usually go over the homework. So when we go over the homework, I try to show the answers. We don't go over every single problem, but we'll talk about problems that were particularly hard for people. I want them to show their work and make sure they label their work. So I try to model that in the keys. Finally, we'll probably take some notes on new learning. So notes take a variety of fashion. Sometimes they're writing it right in their math notebook. So they'll see me on the document camera writing notes and they will write notes. Sometimes it's hard to write enough and fast enough. So we'll do something like upload one of these lesson documents that say 1.2T or something like that. The letter T would be something that we do together in class. We discuss it as we fill it in, and kids have a chance to ask questions if they don't understand. So this looks pretty messy right now, but I can tell you that having a pencil to work on the iPad has been a game changer. And I would imagine that if your child is doing this on the iPad, it would be a game changer for your child as well. So a little plug for a holiday or a gift to get your child a pencil for the iPad if they're not printing out their work. After the lesson, the kids would have some sort of time to practice. and then they'll start with their homework assignment. I'm available every single day from 12:40 to 1:15 for office hours. So many kids have already come in for help for office hours, and that I really appreciate that. So please know that they can stop by for any class during office hours and get some help. For our curriculum this year, we have brand new curriculum. The teachers got their materials the day before school started, and that's why your kids have not been introduced to the book yet. So our school just got the kids loaded onto EdGems, and this week they will be introduced to the book online. So every topic that you see in orange is considered a core standard that we're really going to focus on this year. So we are starting with ratios and rates, as you probably know. Then we would skip the section in blue and we would come back to that if we have time. So we're focusing on the heavy duty sections, percents, fractions. Mostly it's supposed to be multiplying, dividing, which tends to be easier than adding and subtracting. So we go back and review that. And then they will be talking about expressions leading into the beginning of algebra, one variable equations, rational numbers in the coordinate plane, and then hopefully get to two variable equations. If we get to the spring and we have extra time, we will cover the rest of the units. I love math and they're my favorites. I really want your kids to learn this math well, because I believe sixth grade math is what holds people in good stead their entire lives. It's what they use to figure out their pay and their taxes and everything. So it's super applicable to everybody's life, regardless of what they're interested in. And I really try to build that enthusiasm with the students as well. I want to show you now a couple things on Schoology and Skyward so that you're just aware of them. So the last couple of weeks, your kids have been learning how to navigate Schoology. This is a student view that you can see on my screen now. So this happens to be my math class. They will automatically come up to the materials page. On the materials page will be a folder for each week. Past folders after 2 weeks will go into the past week's folder so that it doesn't get to be too many things that the kids see when they open this up. So for instance, this week is the 21st to the 25th. As they open that, the only thing that they see is the WAG, because as the week progresses, new items will be added to the week for their view. So just because at the beginning of the week you don't see anything, it doesn't mean that there's nothing there. It just means that we haven't had the lesson yet and the homework hasn't been assigned yet. So they're always going to be checking this folder. And then they can also look at the calendar view on the right. This calendar view tells them what's upcoming. It's due the morning of. So when they come to Zoom class, it should already have been submitted, or they should have it ready to share in class. In this particular one, they have their practice rates and unit rates that they're going to submit, it says submit, and it needs to be done by 8 o'clock or it's considered tardy, right? If you want to see past work, and this really confuses the kids, if they've missed an assignment, they have no way of knowing because it doesn't show up on the calendar anymore. So if you click the calendar and go to the monthly view, you can see past assignments, and these are all links to the assignment. So if you look on Skyward and somebody is missing something like Climb the Ladder 2 and 3, you can just click right on the assignment on the calendar, and that will be an easy way to find the missing work. Okay. So I don't want you to be afraid to click around on Schoology, especially playing with the calendar view. Always know to look at the folders, right? There are some video links here. If you need help with notability or anything, you can go into this folder and find some extra videos. For our math book, the kids will soon get online access, and this is the EdGems math book online. One thing that I wanted to point out is that they're not going to do all of these things. It's way too much to do. So as teachers, we'll pick and choose what the students will do. If they want to do extra, they're welcome to do any of these extra things that are provided for them. The ebook is what the students will be accessing very soon at home. And this is an example of the lesson for 1.1 that the students would see. So this is just part of their book, but what I wanted to point it out was that there's a speaker function, so it can be read to you. You can also get it in different languages. So it's really handy to access the online book, which the students will learn about this week, right? So Schoology is different from Skyward. Skyward looks like this. You will be logging in hopefully at least once a week, right? If you check every single day, it's a little obsessive and it makes people overly worried about grades. But do check it every week or two. Every week or midweek. And I would ask you to please allow your student to access it themselves unless you have other kids and you don't want to share the password with them. So it's really handy if the kids can check their own grades on Skyward and check Schoology. From teaching so many years, I can tell you that one of the biggest downfalls or pits that people make is leaving their kids alone in middle school too soon. I've taught sixth grade for decades, really, and the parents that step away too soon find that they're soon rescuing their kids because it's just too big a change from elementary school. So I really would encourage you to stick by them, help them navigate Schoology, help them really learn how to organize their documents and Notability, and then how to check Skyward. And then just keep encouraging them to participate, to come for help. I really am very interested in helping your kids, and I want them all to feel a part of our class and to succeed. So please do not be afraid to reach out. Come to office hours, send me a Schoology message, something, right? And then the last part is grades. Grades are very new for these kids, and many of the grades that they do are based on completion. If they do their homework, they check it with the key and they submit it, then as long as they're showing me that they learn, that's a good thing, right? If they submit their document and they haven't checked it and they haven't corrected it, then that's another issue. It's incomplete. But I want the kids to keep up. I really have a 1 week late deadline. And that's because when we discuss things in class, when we correct their homework, if they don't have their paper in front of them, if they don't have their work done, they're really not going to be able to participate. It just doesn't make sense to them if they don't have it. So I really want to encourage your kids to do their work on time. You can expect 3 or 4 assignments per week per class, and really they have lots of afternoon time to finish that up. So I'm hoping for a really good year. I've loved meeting your kids so far, and they've been super patient with me. I've tried to do a good job and be prepared every day, but there's still been some glitches. So please contact me if you have any comments or concerns, and have a good curriculum night via Zoom.